Those who are shrouded in darkness by choice are blinded to truth. And we're seeing that a lot more in the times that we're living in right now. And I want to give you an example of that. If we take Noah's Ark, for example, there is a lot of historic evidence, proof, archaeologically as well, for the Ark. And yes, there is, like the Wild Expedition that thinks it's that boat-like shape that's etched and geologically part of a broken down shape in the landscape. I don't believe that's the Ark at all. And then there's a lot of proof of expeditions from Russia way back in the day that went and found the Ark, who they say is encased in ice on the mountain for most of the year, but for a very small window there's a piece of it that is thawed, and you can see that it's actually a box-shaped structure sitting on top of the mountain. Now, all these proofs are there. Everything points to this. God has given all of this for us to see. And yet, when you look at the scientific community and the experts, you get things like this. They say, complicating the issue further, scholars differ on the precise location of Noah's Ark according to the Hebrew Bible. In the book of Genesis, the ark came to rest upon the mountains of Ararat, located in the ancient kingdom of Urartu, an area that now includes Armenia and parts of eastern Turkey and Iran, not the single iconic peak that bears its name today. That's their first problem. There's no way we can determine where exactly in the ancient Near East it occurred, they say. They have satellites, they take amazing photos from the space station, they've got all these things they can use, but no, there's no way that they can look at these things and see it. Now, there is conspiracy stories out there saying that they've actually used these satellites and taken photos, and they can see the structure sitting on top of Mount Ararat right near the top. And those things are classified and put away, because why would you want proof of God anywhere? It continues. Both Klein and Magnus say that even if, now here's what I'm talking about, even if artifacts from the ark have been or will be found, they can never be conclusively connected to historical events. So even if you find the ark and you bring artifacts from the ark and they can date them and test them and everything, we won't tie it to the ark. Not at all. Historical events not going to happen because we don't believe it. It's a Bible story. You see the problem here starting. They continue. We have no way of placing Noah, if he really existed, and the flood, if there really was one. Never mind that there's seashells on the top of Mount Everest, but anyway, I digress. In time and space, says Magnus, the only way you could determine that would be if you had an authentic ancient inscription. Now let's say they've got one. Noah's wife or Noah made notes and they left it for us. Even then, she points out, such an inscription could refer to another Noah or another flood. So even if you have proof, and even if there's an inscription, and even if it's got Noah's name and his wife's name and his family's name and the biblical account, it's probably referring to another Noah and another flood and not the one that you're talking about in the Bible, because we can't validate the Bible, because then darkness would unravel, and they will not allow that. That hasn't stopped the proliferation of pseudo-archaeology that upholds the Bible as literal truth. The fruitless searches are often aligned with adherents of young earth creationism, that's us, the belief that despite evidence to the contrary, Earth is only thousands of years old. They obviously don't understand the possibility of built-in age, as in Adam was created not as a 1-year-old, but as a grown man. But anyway, again, I digress. This I show you because I want to show you that even if the proof was handed to them, gift-wrapped, absolute, they would still say it's not from God, it's not the Bible, and it's not referring to that thing, it's something else. Because if they have to admit that it's God, if they have to admit that the Bible is true, then you'd have to make changes. And the scripture that comes to mind for me that fits this beautifully is Psalms 14 verse 1 to 5. And it says, the fool, they're fools, the fool has said in his heart, there is no God. They are corrupt. They have done abominable works. There is none who does good. The Lord looks down from heaven upon the children of men to see if there are any who understand, who seek God. They have all turned aside. They have together become corrupt. There's none who does good, no, not one. Have all the workers of iniquity no knowledge, who eat up my people as they eat bread, and do not call on the Lord? There they are in great fear, for God is with the generation of the righteous. So we will continue and we will believe, because we know it is truth, and we will speak it regardless of them shrouded in darkness, always saying it's not true. God bless and shalom.